What's up? So it's that time of the year again. It's December 31st. It's the last day of 2014. And so what I've been doing for the past 4 years now is I give you a little year in review and tell you what went on in my life as well as what also went on around the world. I wanted to say before I get into the video, 2014, like I've kind of said in the past years, that it was a really good year. But 2014 was a good year, but it also was a year that there was a lot of interesting things happened, basically. Not just like events, but like there was kind of like social change and other stuff, which I'll get into as I go along with the video. But I just want to say 2014 was a very interesting year. I don't know if it was a good year per se, but at least it was a very interesting one. So, with that out of the way, I now present 2014, a look back. 2014 got off to a very busy start in January with me being sick for the first week, so, you know, that wasn't lots of fun, but at least it didn't develop into a sick saga 2013 again. Also, we had the beginning of the polar vortex, which practically went through the entire, like, right up until, like, the beginning of April, basically, so that was lots of fun being cold. No, it wasn't, but, you know, thankfully that finally went away. Also, I started yet another semester at Nova because if you remember last year in 2013, I was sick, so I kind of had to forego those plans. And to end everything, we had the Grammys, which of course is now infamous because of Pharrell Williams' hat. That hat, practically, I could say it's like the mascot of 2014. You know what I'm talking about? The hat. January was a busy month, but February was the most packed of any month that I have ever seen in my life so far. Beginning with Super Bowl 48 against Seattle in Denver, with Seattle beating Denver badly, 43-8. Valentine's Day came and I made red velvet brownies, which I think went over pretty well. And the last thing in February 2014 was, of course, one of the most talked about things of the year, which was Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia. That thing practically hypnotized me for the entire 2.5 weeks that it was on. That's all I did. I basically forgot about YouTube, sorry. But, you know, that just took more precedent over, you know, making videos. Of course, the highlights for me of the Olympics were, of course, the opening ceremony, which was just gorgeous. I mean, it didn't rival, you know, London and China, but it was very beautiful, very well done. I liked it. And then some other things were Merle and Charlie winning gold in the ice dancing, which they so rightly deserved. All the Sochi strays, which basically tugged at our heartstrings, especially when Gus Kenworthy brought back as many dogs as he possibly could. TJ Oshie winning against Russia in the preliminary matches, and Shaun White not getting gold in snowboarding. But overall, I just enjoyed the Olympics. I like the Winter Olympics more than I like the Summer Olympics. I think I've said that in the video before, but yeah, the Olympics. When March arrived, it wasn't as hectic as January and February was, but it did have notable highlights to make it an interesting month. Beginning with the Oscars, which was very good, as of course, Jared Leto and Matthew McConaughey take home Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor, and the film of the year goes to 12 Years a Slave. March also had the devastating news of Malaysia Flight 370, which is still yet to be found. March was also the first month in a while that I only got one video up, which was the St. Patrick's Day Lucky Charm Rice Krispie treats. I'm sorry, I kinda maybe was a bit lazy in March, though I might have been a little bit busy with school, so sorry. In April, I returned to making videos regularly. Game of Thrones returned for its 4th season with plenty of shocking episodes, including the death of everyone's favorite person to loathe and despise, Joffrey Baratheon. And April ended off with the annual Record Store Day. When May arrived, we were extremely excited to see it because it finally brought the warm weather we were so desperately needing, and meaning that the polar vortex was finally history. Also in May, I began my marathon marathon grass cutting session, which practically went all the way to September, and I find out that I passed geology with my very first A. My very first A in a science course. In June, not really much interesting happened. I continued on with my marathon grass cutting sessions. I turned 26, and I kind of got lazy / depressed because I wasn't really getting as many views as I had been getting the previous years. So I kind of got a little, as I said, depressed and kind of a little turned off from YouTube. So I only made 2 videos in June. July was quite an active month with highlights such as me making firecracker cupcakes for the 4th of July, me dealing with being an adult with life frustrations such as being unemployed still, and the whole rigmarole with Nova. The phenomenal viral hit that was the Ice Bucket Challenge and the World Cup that went on from the entire month of basically June and July, in which it all came down to the extra overtime between Germany and Argentina, with Germany coming on top, winning the World Cup. August got off to a very dramatic start over the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, which then led to the ongoing police brutality controversy. Other highlights in August include my open letter to Disney discussing my disgust of how they treat their library, The Wizard of Oz, my all-time favorite film, turned 75, the 8th season of Doctor Who with new Doctor Peter Capaldi, and August ended with my longest video to date, 2004 album's 10-year reunion, which unfortunately has the least views of practically all my videos this year. I put a lot of effort and time in it, but people just didn't seem to be interested in it. In September, I made one of my weirdest videos to date, the insect photo shoot with Lucretia, the praying mantis, Derek Jeter's final game with the Yankees after playing for 20 years, and my 4th anniversary of being here on the tubes. October began with everyone being panicked over the Ebola outbreak. Springfield Mall reopens after a 2-year remodeling job, and of course, Halloween. November almost saw a Sick Saga 2014 as I was coughing quite a lot at the beginning of that month, but luckily I got the doctor, I got meds, and that was taken care of. Other highlights in November was going on my Geology 106 field trip out to West Virginia to look at pretty cool looking rocks and formations, the 40th anniversary of one of my all-time favorite books, Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends, and of course, Thanksgiving, where I attempted to make pumpkin pie cookies, but they didn't quite come out as well, which is why you never make anything off of Pinterest. And finally, in December, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer celebrated its 50th anniversary of airing on television. And of course, Christmas. Alright guys, so that's been my 2014 A Look Back. And as I said at the beginning of the video, 2014 maybe not have been a great year, but it's been a very interesting year. So, what I would like you to do now, you don't have to, but in the comments below, why don't you tell me what are your 5 highlights of 2014? Because I know I'll love to read whatever you put down there. Alright guys, well, before I leave, I would like to take these next few minutes to remember those that we have lost this year. Now I have to say, in 2014, we have lost a lot of famous and notable people. So at this time, I now hand it over to them. guys, so this has been, as I said, my little year in review, and as I also said that it's been a very interesting year. I mean, there is a lot of notable things that have happened that we're going to remember for years to come. But, you know, besides those things that stick out, 2014 for me just doesn't really seem to be like a really, for me, I don't see it as a great year. Which, I mean, not every year is going to be great. I mean, I guess you have to do things to make it great, but overall, I just don't see it as a great year. But it was a very interesting one. So that's how I'm going to remember 2014, as a very interesting year. Alright guys, well, before I leave, I would just like to say thank you for subscribing and commenting and just taking time out of your lives to watch mine, basically. And I really appreciate that. And I hope to see you all back in 2015, as I have a lot of new things planned, which I think you'll like. And until then, this is me saying goodbye, and goodbye to 2014, and I will see you all in 2015. Alright, that's all. Bye!